who is the most beneficent and most merciful. My name is Arij Padma and I am from MS Chemistry Department. Now I am going to explain the planets and their chemistry. First I will talk about Mercury. Basically, what is the main introduction of Mercury? Astronomers have estimated that the Mercury composition is made up of approximately 70% of metals and 30% silicate materials. In fact, it's only slightly less dense than that of Earth with 5.43 gram per centimeter cube. Practically every other planet in our solar system can be considered to have an atmosphere, apart from perhaps the extremely thin transient atmosphere of Mercury, with the compositions varying from planet to planet. Different conditions on different planets can also give rise to particular effects. Now, Mercury. What is the temperature and basic information about the planet Mercury? First, Mercury has large temperature differences between day and night. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system, and Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. Mercury has virtually no atmosphere, so the sunlight hitting the planet is about 9 times as intense as the sunlight on Earth, and the surface of Mercury is similar to that of the Moon. Now, I will talk about the atmosphere of Mercury. Mercury does not really have an atmosphere in the strictest sense of the word. Its incredibly thin atmosphere, which is estimated to be over a trillion times thinner than Earth. Its gravity is about 38% that of Earth, so it isn't capable of retaining much of an atmosphere. And in addition, its proximity to the sun means that the solar wind can carry gases away from the surface. Particles from the solar wind, coupled with the vaporization of surface rock as a result of meteor impacts, are probably the largest contributor to Mercury's atmosphere. Now, the second planet is Venus. It is composed primarily of carbon dioxide gas and is much denser and hotter than that of Earth. And the Venus atmosphere sports opaque clouds, which is made of sulfuric acid, and making optical Earth based and orbital observation of the surface impossible. Aside from carbon dioxide, the other main component is nitrogen gas and other chemical compounds which are present only in trace amounts. The atmosphere is in a state of vigorous circulation and superrotation. Unlike Earth, Venus lacks a magnetic field. And now is the basic information about Venus planet. First of all, Venus has no moons and it is also called the planet of love. And Venus is the second planet in our solar system. The size, mass, and average density of planet Venus are about the same as the Earth, and Venus is the brightest planet in the night sky. Now I will talk about atmosphere of Venus. Basically, what is the composition of the atmosphere of Venus? So the key elements are carbon dioxide gas and nitrogen gas. Carbon dioxide gas consists about 96.5% and nitrogen is about 3.5%, and the remaining percentage of other trace elements which are sulfur dioxide, argon, water vapor, carbon monoxide, helium and neon. Now the third planet is Earth. The Earth's interior includes a thin 5 to 70-kilometer thick layer of oceanic and continental crust, which overlaying an additional 6,300 kilometers of rock and metals. And the dust varies in thickness and density, with oceanic crust consisting of a thin around 5-kilometer layer of dense rock, and continental crust, which consists of less dense light colored rock, which is ranging up between 30 and 70 kilometer in thickness. Although the crust is comprised of many types of rocks and hundreds of minerals, these materials are assembled from a very small number of elements. And now the percentage varies in these elements. Total of 98.7% of the crust by weight consists of just 8 elements, which includes oxygen, which is about 46.6%, silicon 27.72%, aluminium 8.13%, iron 5.0%, calcium 3.63%, sodium is 2.83%, potassium 2.70%, and magnesium 2.09%. And these elements form the building block of most of the inorganic material which encounter in our daily lives, such as glass, silicon oxides, concrete, CaCO3, and iron. Oceanic crust is dominated by minerals which consist of silicon, oxygen, and magnesium, and is thus called SIMA, SIMA. Continental crust is made up of shale, in which silicon and aluminium dominate. And here is the composition of the earth. Oxygen is about 46.6%, silicon 27.7%, aluminum 8.1%, and other are the trace elements and their percentage I told you earlier. The earth consists of mantle which has a liquid outer core and a solid inner core. The outer core is responsible for generating the earth's magnetic field. We should be grateful for this magnetic field since it protects us and all life on earth against solar wind and cosmic rays. Earth is the only planet known to contain life, but there is um, new observation that life can exist on Mars. And what is the basic information about Earth? The Earth has a very useful natural satellite, which is Moon. Within our solar system, the Earth is a terrestrial planet with the greatest mass and volume compared to other planets in our solar system. And it is shaped like a sphere with some flattening edges at its poles. Our Earth is also known as the blue planet. And the Earth is the only planet with plate tectonics. Other rocky planets in our solar system, like Mercury, Venus, and Mars, have never had movement in their outer shells, but the Earth had. What is the composition of Earth's atmosphere? The envelope of gases that we call the Earth atmosphere is bound to planet more or less permanently by gravity, and within 50 miles of the surface, the air is thoroughly mixed by turbulence that vary of its constituent gases are minimal. And basically, three gases, which is nitrogen, oxygen, and argon, comprise about 90% of dry air by volume. And water vapor is variable constituent and it can be present up to 4%. By volume, the dry air in Earth atmosphere is about 78.08%, nitrogen 20.95%, oxygen and 0.93% argon. A review of trace gases accounts for other approximately 0.04%, including the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and ozone. Now coming towards moon. Basically the moon is similar to Earth and that it has a crust, mantle, and core. Three parts. The core of the moon is believed to be at least partly molten and probably consists primarily of iron with some sulfur and nickel. Thin atmosphere, so even footprint or dust can sit undisturbed for centuries without much of an atmosphere. Heat is not held near surface, so temperature vary wildly. Day temperature on sunny side of moon reached 273 Fahrenheit and it is about 134 degrees Celsius. And on dark side it is cold as minus 243 degree Fahrenheit, and it is about minus 153 degrees Celsius. What is basically the composition of moon? The moon's atmosphere, with a density of only 100 molecules per cubic centimeter, is largely made of helium, neon, argon, and hydrogen. And other constituents of the moon's atmosphere includes ammonia, methane, potassium, sodium, and carbon dioxide, which are found in small amounts. And oxygen by percentage is about 60.0%, silicon 16.5%, iron 3.5%, magnesium 3.5%, and titanium 1.0%. Now, coming towards Mars, it consists of silicates, metals, and other elements that typically make up rock. Mars is a differentiated planet, the central core made of metallic iron and nickel, surrounded by a less dense silicate mantle and crust. And now, the planet's distinctive red color is due to the oxidation of iron on its surface. Hydrogen is present as water, ice, and in hydrated minerals, and carbon occurs as carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and sometimes as dry ice at the poles. But an unknown amount of carbon is also stored in carbonates. Molecular nitrogen makes up 2.7% of the atmosphere, so we know organic compounds are absent except for a trace of methane detected in the atmosphere. Mars has a specific kind of dust on the surface, which also gives the planet a red appearance. Now, this is the basic information about the Mars. Mars is about 4.57 billion years old, and it has two moons which are called Phobos and Deimos. And Mars is also known as the red planet. The days and the seasons on the planet Mars can be compared to those on Earth, and Mars is the fourth planet from the Earth. Now, coming towards the composition of atmosphere, Mars' atmosphere is about over 100 times thinner than Earth's atmosphere and is primarily composed of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon gases. Oxidized dust particles kicked up from the Martian surface and fill the atmosphere, turning Mars' skies a rusty tan color. It's made of iron, nickel, and sulfur. Surrounding the core is a rocky mantle between 770 and 1170 miles, which is about 1240 to 1880 kilometers thick, and above that, a crust made of iron, magnesium, aluminium, calcium, and potassium. And this crust is between 6 and 30 miles, which is about 10 to 50 kilometers deep. Now, we compare the atmosphere of Mars and Earth, and Mars composition. Argon is present, consists of 1.9%, nitrogen is about 1.9%, and carbon dioxide consists almost 96%. And different trace gases includes acetylene, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, krypton, methane, neon, nitrogen oxide, oxygen, ozone, water vapor, and xenon. All these trace gases are present in Mars. Now, coming towards Earth, Earth oxygen consists of almost 20.9%, nitrogen 78.1%, which is the major contribution to the Earth atmosphere. And different trace gases includes argon, carbon dioxide, helium, hydrogen, krypton, methane, neon, nitrous oxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, xenon, which is almost about 0.93% present on Earth. That's all from my side. Thank you.